What up, peeps? This is Get With It Sports, place where you get your sports the way you want it. I'm Glass.
And I'm Brandon.
The best tag team tandem out here in sports talk, about to give you episode 28 of the 2 Cent Deposit on Sports, the place where we give you our 2 cents on the recent topics in the sports world. First off, we want to thank you for listening to us while you're on the go. If you haven't already, download the Spreaker app, search for Get With It Sports Media, and while you're at it, click the heart button to give us a like. It's much appreciated. And click the follow button so you can be alerted to all the special episodes and stuff we got going on here at Get With It Sports Media. You can also watch most of our episodes on YouTube. Search for our Get With It Sports 2 channel and subscribe so you can be alerted to all the videos we will upload in the future. What's up, bruh? How's everything going, man?
A lot of big things going on in the sport world.
Not just the sport world in the NBA. It's like stuff be cracking off in off season, man. They trying to be like the NFL, always be relevant.
all year round.
All year round, man. I mean, you got open vacancies and general manager positions, and then they acting like it's like a player position. They try and get the best player and top-notch players moving teams and whatnot. So it ain't even free agency yet, and we got all this movement going on. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that, man. Let's go ahead and jump on our news tape. We got some interesting stuff, like you said, actually outside NBA jumping off, man. At the beginning of the week, it was known that former Washington Redskins running back Clinton Portis revealed in a recent interview that he almost killed one of his former financial advisors for losing him millions of dollars through failed investments. The running back earned $4.3 million in his football career, but lost the majority of it due to poor financial management. Portis told Brian Burnshead of Sports Illustrated he once waited outside one of his advisors' offices with a gun in 2013 with the intent of killing him. He was eventually talked out of it by a friend who convinced him to think of his children's futures. Quote, it wasn't no beat up, he said. It was kill. Some of his misfortune was self-induced, and he spent lavishly on houses, cars, and exotic fish during his playing career. Portis was on a different level, former Redskin receiver Santana Moss said, according to Burnshead. He didn't think about tomorrow. Despite going through a dramatic ordeal that forced him to file several lawsuits, Portis believes he is in a position of clarity now. Quote, most people would have offed themselves if they had to deal with what I had to deal with. Life is so much clearer after coming out of that storm. What you think about that, bruh?
Shit. on that financial advice, I'm somewhere like, whoo. Whoo. Hey, I don't condone it.
Right.
I understand.
Right. Exactly. I'm with you on that. Dude, you know, Clinton Portis, love me some Clinton Portis, because he used to run for my beloved Denver Broncos back in the day before he went to the Washington Redskins. And you know what? I feel him to a certain extent. You know, you running hard, making all these millions of dollars for yourself, and you won't have somebody come up in here who ain't even put in the work, steal the millions from you. I feel that, but I'm glad his friend pulled him away from that situation and told him, think about his children, because, it ain't worth it. You serving jail time, not raising your kids.
Right.
But I understand. You taking millions of dollars out of my pocket, man. But I think another reason why he opened his eyes is because, just like Santana Moss said, man, he was spending money left and right. I remember seeing him on, back in the day, they had a show called MTV Cribs. I don't know if we're showing our age with that or whatnot. When they were showing some extravagant stuff, some lavish stuff and stuff that we haven't even seen before. Like, dude, y'all make money like that? Evidently, they don't.
Well,
it's just funny to me. Just like, I don't know if anybody's seen that ESPN 30 for 30 called Broke, when how they was giving interviews to players that lost all their money because of certain situations with family, with themselves spending extravagantly and whatnot. And I guess my thing is you got to learn, you know how the saying go, if you don't learn from your history, it's due to repeat.
Or repeat itself, right?
Exactly, man. So, you know, I'm glad he didn't do what he do. But let me just say this right now. Another thing that he needed to do was keep reports or keep tabs of the money his advisor was spending to have evidence. Because if you remember a couple of years ago, I don't know how long ago, Tim Duncan, former superstar / San Antonio star, he lost millions of dollars with the advisor he had, but I take it he kept receipts and stuff, kept dibs on it. I think his name was Banks. I can't remember, Charles Banks maybe. I know his last name was Banks, but anyway, he just went to court, the advisor, and he has to serve 4 years in federal penitentiary and has to repay $7.5 million to Duncan. So to me, it's like, I ain't gonna say a similar situation, but I believe if Portis would have kept dibs and kept tabs and kept receipts of everything that the financial advisor, basically keep your fingers on the pulse of what's going on with your money over there, it would have been the same situation.
Right.
So, but anyway, I'm glad he didn't do what he planned on doing. That would be real serious right there.
Been ugly, yeah.
You know, so. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. This is the one I know you're going to – I'm waiting to hear what you got to say about this. John McEnroe caused a racket earlier this week when he called Serena Williams the greatest female tennis player that ever lived in an interview with NPR, but claimed that she would be like number 700 in the world if she competed against men. For comparison, McEnroe told CBS that he would be ranked 1,200th in the world. So right off the bat, that was – I'm sure he's better than 1,200th in the world right now. But, you know, it's just like – let me just put it to you like this. I listened to the interview. I wish I had a snippet of the interview with us.
Yeah.
The lady, the interviewer, asked McEnroe, was she the greatest female ever? And he answered the question, yes, she's the greatest female tennis player that ever lived, hands down. But she went on and gave him a loaded question as if to say, why say just the greatest female tennis player? Why can't she be the greatest tennis player? And that's when he went on.
Knocked him down. Huh?
She led him on, and like I said, gave him the loaded question, and then that's where he pulled the trigger and messed up. You know what I'm saying? So. But just to move on, Serena Williams responded to McEnroe's claim that she would struggle with the men's tennis circuit. Williams, winner of 23 Grand Slam single titles, and the only woman in Forbes' list of the world's 100 highest paid athletes in 2017, announced in April she was expecting her first child. Knowing that, she reacted to McEnroe's credit. The 35-year-old tweeted, "Dear John, I adore and respect you, but please keep me out of your statements that are not factually based. I never played anyone ranked there, nor do I have time. Respect me and my privacy as I am trying to have a baby. Good day, sir." So let me go ahead and translate the way most of us understand. She's saying, keep my name out your mouth. And I said mouth with an F. Don't come for me unless I send for you. And don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Right.
McEnroe 58 emphasized that Williams was an incredible player and the best female player ever, no question. The 7-time Grand Slam winner, who has 4 daughters, and this is McEnroe, told Stephen Colbert during the Late Show Tuesday that his opinion of Williams didn't go over big with his daughters, Emily McEnroe, that's 26, his ex-wife Tatum O'Neal, Anna McEnroe, that's 21, Ava McEnroe, 18, and stepdaughter Ruby Myers with wife Patti Smith. Bruh, what you got to say about this, man?
Like you said earlier, she gave him a question. You know he ignorant. That's why he fed him like that. You know,
Right.
he ran right in there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
fork and spoon in his hand, knife in his hand. So yeah, and then all he did was put him back in the news because I hadn't heard nothing about John McEnroe in years.
Right.
You know, that's really all he did, and I think Serena did right by just dismissed it altogether. Because you know what, he could have very well easily dismissed it too. You know,
Exactly.
but yeah, she took the higher road. So man, hopefully you won't hear nothing else about it. But yeah, he's still a freaking idiot. But when how would he know what he would even rank at, let alone somebody else? You know.
Right. You know, it's like, just like you said, we haven't heard McEnroe in a long time. I know he's been around. He's the ambassador of the tennis game. You know, he's been around certain events and whatnot. He analyzes events for certain networks. I think he got a book out too. That's probably the reason why he said it's stupid-ish in the first place. But you've been around long enough, and you know when the loaded question is coming.
Right.
You know, just like the situation with Floyd Mayweather. Ronda Rousey was so hot at the time, few years back, that she said that she beat Floyd Mayweather, and people were coming at Floyd Mayweather like, "What you think you're gonna set this up? You think you're gonna set this up?" That's a lose-lose situation for Floyd Mayweather, for the simple fact, if he loses, he can't say he lost all credibility in the fight game because he lost to a woman, and because of his past history. So-called, well, I ain't gonna say so-called. He been guilty of beating up women,
fighting women, yeah.
Served time in jail for it. So if he beats her up, he gonna look like a heel anyway. So I'm glad he didn't fall for the loaded questions and whatnot. But McEnroe been around here long enough. He should know better. And you got,
yeah, he saw it coming.
Exactly. So if you guys don't know, friend of the show, AA Sports, Diego Brishnikov, Uncle Hate had a show 2 days ago. If y'all watching the video, I'm gonna try to put a link somewhere around here. But their channel is AA Sports. But they had a special guest, another friend of the show, Nicole Monique from TWSS Sports, which is acronyms for That's What She Said Sports. But anyway, she was on there. She broke down real nice what she thought about the situation between Serena and McEnroe. So if you can, click on that over there and check out that video. Mm-hmm. But my thing is that, Serena doesn't need to be validated in the view of men's competition in order for her to be great. She accomplished many things other than 23 Grand Slam titles plus other things, and so she doesn't need to be validated to be ranking with guys. It's like apples and oranges, right. Two different situations.
Exactly.
We both, men and women are built different. So for him to fall for that question, man, like you said, I think he might have known anyway. It should have been squashed. So exactly. That's how I feel about that situation. Next one, man. I'm trying not to curse on this one. I'm trying to keep it level. As fans wait for the New York Mets to bring up top prospect Ahmed Rosario, general manager Sandy Alderson instead announced that Tim Tebow will be promoted to High A baseball on last Sunday. Tebow is suiting up for the St. Lucie Mets of the Florida State League. He has managed a 222, 311, and 340 slash line for the Columbia Fireflies of the South Atlantic League over 241 plate appearances in his first taste of Class A baseball. 29-year-old Tebow was 6 years older than the next oldest player on the Fireflies roster, and 6 of his teammates with at least 100 plate appearances were posting higher OPSs. Following his much publicized promotion, former Heisman winner doesn't believe his performance should be judged on numbers alone. what the hell else is supposed to be judged by?
Right.
See, listen, man. Nothing. Me and another friend of the show. Shout out to Eric, Ice Cold Eric from Kane and Ice Show. Me and him was going back and forth. Now, let me clear this up. I'm not talking about his character. Great individual. He a Christian. I got all that. He's a fan favorite. He ain't my favorite because this man cannot. I had a problem with him when he was on the Denver Broncos. It's not a biased opinion. He won. He I ain't gonna say he won us games. He didn't win us games, man. He didn't win it. No, he didn't.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he did.
The other team, the other players on the team made him look good, man. Yeah, there was okay. The first the playoff game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. How the hell we won that one? I don't know, but it happened. A miraculous situation. Cool. But the man, you know just as well as I know, that man that can't throw no football, man. He should have went over the tight end. He would have had a better career. You seen what he did in Denver. His stats at Denver. You seen the stats at your New York Jets. Come on, man. You should have stuck with ESPN college football Saturday. You did a great job. He's a great analyst. Mm-hmm. And you go play baseball. And he plays. See, this is why I can't stand Tim Tebow. I can't not get rid of him. He played for my beloved Denver Broncos. And we all know I'm a diehard White Sox fan. But what's my second team? The New York Mets. Out of all the teams that's in the league, you had to go to the New York Mets, man. And this one gets me. If New York Mets didn't learn from the New York Giants, the New York Jets, what you think was – well, we know what it's for. Publicity.
So that's the only thing it can be for. When you have a stadium doesn't believe his performance should be judged on numbers alone, the hell? I mean, if you're an athlete, that's what all your shit is judged on numbers. Whether it's baseball, basketball, football, hockey, tennis, it's the numbers. It's all about that. Well, he's such a nice. Did you taste those cups made though? I mean, damn, that boy can make some fucking cupcakes. And we gotta promote him. We gotta promote him. We gotta get him to the next level. You know?
I tell you, man. You know, it's like I don't know. Like you said, it must be something. He must be the clean cut, good old looking boy that prays before games, pray after games. Something, man.
Right.
The wholesome one, the Opie looking one. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Maybe whole Bible class at the beginning.
All right, man. Let's stop before we go to hell talking about.
Yeah, you got to put it all out there on the table because it's not based on numbers. It's not based on. So it's got to be,
I don't know, man. Right.
Hey, great job, Tim Tebow. Whatever you're doing is working.
But see, I feel you. I'm hating on the guy. I was going to say I'm not, but I'm hating on the guy because he's on my teams. But anyway, I don't understand how these people extend his 15 minutes of fame. It's like you keep on hitting the snooze button, getting more time. Hitting the snooze button, getting more time. Oh, let me change teams. Hit snooze. Oh, let me change sports. Hit the snooze button, get more time. I'm tired of seeing this man's name in sports.
Right. Oh, well.
Yeah. So, all right, man. We're going to jump in the NBA, which is probably basically the rest of this episode. We had the NBA awards. This Monday night, and the winners are we have Malcolm Brogdon was the rookie of the year. He beat out Joel Embiid and Saric from the Philadelphia 76ers. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who are the most improved player, the forward from the Milwaukee Bucks. He beat out Nikola Jokic for the Denver Nuggets and Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz. Draymond Green won Defensive Player of the Year. He beat out Kawhi Leonard and Rudy Gobert. I picked Rudy Gobert myself personally, but that's just me. Out of the rest, I picked all of them correctly, but that's the one I messed up on. Six man of the year. was Eric Gordon of the Houston Rockets. And last but not least, the MVP award went to Russell Westbrook. After becoming the first player in 55 years to average a triple-double over the course of a season, Oklahoma City Thunder point guard has been named the 2016-2017 most valuable player. On top of matching Oscar Robertson's 1961-62 feat, Westbrook led the NBA in scoring with 31.6 points at a night, 31.6 points a night to go along with 10.7 rebounds and 10.4 assists. His 30.6 play efficiency rating also led the league and was the 15th best mark of all time, while his 41.7% usage rate was the highest in recorded history. Westbrook set a new league record with 42 triple-doubles on the season, including 8 in which he scored at least 40 points and 3 in which he scored at least 50 points. And the paper-thin Thunder needed every ounce of that production. So congratulations to all these individuals winning their awards, and especially congratulations to Russell Westbrook. To me, it was never in doubt. I know they had James Harden, who was like right behind them with the triple-double numbers. Mm-hmm. Kawhi Leonard was up in there. I think they had Isaiah Thomas as 5th, LeBron James 4th. So what you got to say about Russell Westbrook? Did you have any doubt what Russell Westbrook was going to win?
I said it from the beginning, but you know what? You got them. Yeah, they kind of stretched this thing out because all these awards. Remember, they used to get these awards out before playoff, whatever. So you got to believe that your playoff, what you do in the playoffs, got to have some type of effect or not effect, but it's got to matter what you do in your team to the playoffs and in this voting process. Now, Russ was tearing the league up, during the regular season or whatever. He deserved it. So was James Harden too. But I think, and then they say, okay, well, your MVP should make your other players around you better. Maybe it depends. It depends on what's going on that particular team. But man, he ran it from beginning to end. He's like he set a mission, made it out of a mission. This is what he do, or whatever. And he did it, because without him, they would not have been in the playoffs.
I agree.
That was that.
I agree. The whole storyline was meant for him to win the MVP. You lose Kevin Durant to free agency to the Golden State Warriors. You like the lone man on the team. You put the team on your shoulders. Boo, boo, boo. Had a triple-double. And the night that you had the triple-double, I think he had 50-something points that night, and he hit the game-winning shot that was damn near 35 feet, 40-footer, last second shot. The narrative just made it right for him to win the MVP. I know you got to have other contestants, but it was just hand down to me. He should have won.
Right. He sealed it with that. Yeah.
Right. So once again, congratulations to all the winners of the NBA awards. Let me ask you this next question. Since we're talking about Russell Westbrook, the Oklahoma City Thunder plan to offer the newly crowned MVP a 5-year extension shortly after midnight on July 1st, where free agency opens up. And it's widely expected that Westbrook will accept. You think he's going to accept that offer?
Yeah, he's going to accept. You know what? I think, I'm going to just say this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Russell Westbrook, he loves to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I think right now, he got to be looking around the league and seeing how this thing is going.
Right.
So he may be saying to himself, I might be one of them great ones that just don't finish with a championship. Because they finna give him a 5-year extension. They'll tell him how much it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
All the free agency hoopla you've been listening to chatter, you listened to over the last couple of weeks and movements or whatever. You ain't heard OKC mentioned not one time.
Yeah, that's true.
Ain't nobody trying to go there or nothing. You ain't heard about him trying to talk to anybody to come get him and play there. He'll never do that.
Right.
He would never talk to somebody to try to get them to come there. You know, so I think he may be content. Okay, fuck it, just pay me. I'm gonna still play my ass off, and we're gonna see where it goes. But I just be content with if I win to get to a championship, great. If not, you know, I'm good.
Right. Okay.
That's just what I think.
I totally agree with what you're saying. I piggyback off of that for simple fact. You don't know how anybody's built, how they think and whatnot. You know,
right.
I was shocked to see Kevin Durant leave last year, but I can't blame Kevin Durant. Like I stated episodes ago, you know, his thinking is y'all not trying hard enough to build around me and Russell. You don't know, you know, I love me some Russell, but dude, you shoot too much. Oh, I'll see what they got going on there. Let me go on over there. I can't, and, you know, and Russell is built by loyalty. He's loyal to a fault. You know what I'm saying? You guys drafted me. You show me all this love. I know I'm from LA. I'm gonna stick it right here. Just like you said, pay me and I'll be good. Leave me alone and I'll be good. You know.
Exactly.
I can't see Thunder not building. I think Thunder, the front office of the Thunder learned a lesson from losing. I mean, if you think about it, and I keep on saying this all the time, you had James Harden, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka. You have two of them that's running for the MVP. You have one that won the MVP, one that's won the championship for another team. That's the second best player in the league. They know how to build organically through the draft. So they have to know, okay, we could do this again. I don't think they had. Now, I can't see Blake Griffin going back to his home state and playing for them, which would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really a bad team. They just don't have Kevin Durant that put them front and center. But they can build again and do what's right, better than what the Chicago Bulls are doing or the New York Knicks are doing. So I'm not complaining. You know, if you're an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, you can't complain too much.
Right, like you said, they're not a bad team. If they get somebody like Blake Griffin to play with them for the regular season, because that's all he good for, you know.
I see that shot. Good one.
But I mean, that's and they're not a playoff run, but they won't go. They'll get there. That's
right.
It. First round playoffs, but it's a couple teams that they just don't have a stand a chance against over there.
Right. So I agree with you. I think come 12:01 Saturday morning, that ink will be drying on that contract for his extension, man, and everything be right in Oklahoma City, man. So I agree with you. Yeah, Russell Westbrook, he ain't going anywhere, man.
Nowhere.
You know, so. All right, man. Speaking of the Houston Rockets, that was the next thing that jumped off. I think it was Wednesday. Chris Paul, this all-star point guard for the LA Clippers, is heading to Houston to join James Harden, giving the Rockets 2 all-stars in the backcourt to lead their chase for a championship. In the NBA's second blockbuster trade in less than a week, the Rockets acquired Chris Paul from the Los Angeles Clippers on Wednesday in exchange for Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, Sam Dekker, Montrezl Harrell, Kyle I can't even pronounce it, Wiltshire, a protected first-round pick next year in cash consideration. I think there's another individual from another team that's in there. The Rockets also acquired Darren Hilliard from Detroit Pistons and DeAndre Liggins from the Dallas Mavericks, cash considerations before adding them to the deal. 32-year-old Paul will be playing for his third team after opting out for the last year of his contract, so the Clippers could work on the deal. Houston general manager Daryl Morey wanted to get this deal done early so Paul could help Harden woo free agents to Houston. Paul is a 9-time All-Star who averages 18.7 points, 9.9 assists, 4.4 rebounds, and 2.3 steals over his 12-year career. Bruh, that one caught me off guard. You know, I've heard stuff been brewing under the scenes, but I did not see Chris Paul going to the Houston Rockets.
Right.
What you got to say about that, man?
I mean, let me just ask this question here. Chris Paul play point guard.
Mm-hmm.
I know during last season.
I know where we're going. Go ahead.
James Harden played point guard most of the season for
Houston Rockets.
Right. I still don't get
Go ahead, man. Yeah.
You had your point guard, you had your player, whatever. Should they been trying to get another guard, a 2 or 3 rather than a point guard? I mean, it's not enough balls. Not enough balls.
That's what I mean. You right here, bro. We right there. But we ain't got to be right here. Common sense lets you know, dude.
I mean,
James Harden needs the ball. Chris Paul needs the ball. How this ish gonna work?
Exactly. I mean, you're not getting a true point guard. I mean, your point guard, you don't grant it now. Your point guard can be a guard that's okay. That scores when left open and say, okay, you're not just going to leave me open because I can't get to the basketball. I can't hit this, 15, 17-foot shot, average about 10, 12 points a game, I'm being unguarded or whatever. Well, Chris Paul take just as many shots as James Harden and can average, if he wants, probably just as many points. So I don't.
Okay. I'm with you with that. But let's think about this. Number one, they got Mike D'Antoni. Now he's not gonna win you
a defensive player.
He's not gonna win you a championship because he has no defense in his plans.
Right.
But he's gonna win you. He's gonna get you to the playoffs just off the offensive schemes that he put out there. So really, we don't know what he's gonna put together. And shout out to Mike D'Antoni. I didn't mention him for the NBA awards. He won Coach of the Year over Greg Popovich and Eric Spoelstra. So congrats to D'Antoni. But you seen what D'Antoni did for the Houston Rockets this year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give him a chance. Number one, I'm going to give him a chance because Mike D'Antoni. Number two, I'm going to give kudos to Daryl Morey because this man here is making moves that I wish I got our damn Chicago Bulls would do. He's going to throw something together and see how it sticks on the wall, man. More than what we could do. You know what I'm saying? So, and he thinks outside the box because let's think about this. Even the Houston Rockets gave up a lot, but they kept
right.
But they kept some key players, and I was going to look it up real quick, the roster. I like the big man they got over there. They still got Eric Gordon, who just won Sixth Man of the Year. They had a nice little bench that they, picked, we'll get away with this. And the way Daryl Morey is thinking is, shoot, while everybody like Danny Ainge and them trying to scoop up players and wait for the right time to do it, we're just going to jump up in here and see what we can do coming out of here. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens if we get Chris Paul and James Harden together and see who they can bring over here. We got the money. I don't care how much I got to spend. Let's go ahead and do this. I like that mentality. You know what I'm saying? Let's not wait. Let's go ahead. Let's not. Sometimes you could build through the draft. You might be built to build through the draft. Sometimes you need to scoop up players and let's just throw the issue against the wall and see what sticks. That's what Daryl Morey is. He's a numbers guy. He believes in stats. They got the I can't remember. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but he goes by the numbers. And just thinking, we're a 3-point shooting team. He got a team to shoot mid range. So let's go ahead and attack these 3-point shooters, and I'm gonna hit you with the mid range shots and shots around the basket. Now, if they could infiltrate defense into the situation, they might be even better team. So. Let's wait and see, man. It shocks me. And then with the situation, let's go over to the LA Clippers. They got a nice little situation. You got all these players out to deal for one all-star that they really was having problems with Doc Rivers, the head coach. Because you heard about it behind the scenes, I think it was Mike Eves from ESPN. He was saying that there was a little grind between Chris Paul and Doc Rivers because of Doc Rivers' son that's on the team, Austin Rivers.
Right. I heard the whole nepotism.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't willing, he wouldn't treat Austin different than the rest of the players, number one. Number two, I guess what was the straw that broke the camel's back. There's a trade out there where the New York Knicks would give up Carmelo Anthony and somebody else to the Clippers for Austin Rivers, Jamal Crawford, and I can't remember what the third player was, but Rivers wouldn't G for it. When it comes to find out, it was the New York Knicks that wasn't G'ing for it. But still, it came across, that the trade didn't go through because of Austin Rivers.
Crazy, right? And see, that goes back to you being the GM and the coach.
Yeah, it's bad enough as it is. Then you got your son on the team.
Right, exactly. So now, right, you really got to be able to pull that trigger in. So if you just the coach, hey, son, shit, I'm just telling you, man, that's what they want. Pack your shit.
Come over to the house for Thanksgiving. We still good.
Right. Exactly.
But then I think the Clippers, we talked about this earlier. That window of opportunity has closed on them. It was time to shake up stuff. And then, I understand they brought in Jerry West for an advisor to help out, which I think was a great move. And hopefully, they were saying that this move happened without Jerry West even knowing about it with the Chris Paul.
Yeah.
But you got it. Let me ask you this before we move on. Do you credit Chris Paul for saying for initiating the trade because he signed? He told them, you know what, I'm going to Houston. So either I go to Houston, reach out to you guys getting anything, or you could trade me right now and get some players out the deal. So I give him credit for that, just like Paul George is basically doing over in Indiana. Mm-hmm. So he gave me a heads up. They had to do what they had to do. What you think about that? You think Chris Paul did the right thing, or do you think that?
Yeah, I mean, he felt loyalty to the team. So, in that regard, yeah, he anytime you give him a heads up, mm-hmm. like with Paul George, so that's. You can either rent them, mm-hmm. or you can give me something for them, or whatever, right? A sign and trade or something like that,
right?
So yeah, how it's gonna be interesting to see how this work out though, because they still don't have enough. I don't think.
Yeah. Oh no. Who you talking about? The Clippers?
Yes.
No, they don't. They need to get. Number one, they got a lot of things that they play they got to take care of. Now that Chris Paul left, we got to figure out because now Blake Griffin is open for free agency, and I think DeAndre Jordan is. So you got to play that. Did JJ Redick? He's open. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now you can keep JJ Redick since Chris Paul left because I think they should keep JJ Redick. You got to sit there and deal with other stuff. Okay, Chris Paul's gone. Let me try to satisfy the people I got on this team now. If that's what's in the plans. Like I said, Jerry West could say, we don't really need him. We don't really need him. We should go ahead box this together and get this player. So we never know what's in the works. We just got to wait and see what jumps off.
Right now, you never know. George might end up there.
True.
Not necessarily playing for the Lakers. He's still in L.A.
Exactly. You're right.
Hey, never know.
Right. All right, man. Let's hit this last thing before we move up out of here. The other situation that happened, I think this happened on Tuesday. Either it was Tuesday or Wednesday, man. After 3 uninspired seasons, the New York Knicks and Phil Jackson, president of basketball operations, have mutually agreed to part ways. It was Wednesday morning. Quote, Phil Jackson is one of the most celebrated and successful individuals in the history of the NBA. His legacy in the game of basketball is unmatched, owner James Dolan said in an official statement. We wish him the best and thank him for his services to the Knicks as both a player and an executive. While we are currently evaluating how best to move forward regarding the leadership of the organization, I will not, let me put the emphasis on not, be involved in the operation of the team. Steve Mills, the team general manager, will run the day-to-day business of the organization over the short term. Tim Lewicki, who brings tremendous expertise and experience in sports franchise management from both Toronto and Los Angeles, and is our partner in the Oakview Group. We'll advise and work with Steve on the interim basis to help develop a go-forward plan. That's from the owner, Jim Dolan. With so much negativity surrounding Jackson and the franchise, including his quickly dissolving relationship between his stars, Carmelo Anthony and Kristaps Porzingis, as well as his unwillingness to abandon the trademark triangle offense, it reportedly became obvious that to the Knicks higher-ups that something had to be done. It was at the end of this past regular season when the Knicks and Jackson agreed to exercise the final 2 years of the option that was worth $24 million in his contract, which would take him through the end of 2018-2019 campaign. It was clear, though, that he had no intentions to stay on past then. Jackson's option being picked up Jackson's option being picked up came despite the fact that the team had just put together yet another losing record under his regime, finishing 12th in the Eastern Conference at 31-51. In fact, the Knicks failed to qualify for the playoffs once Jackson became in charge, compiling a 80-166 record in 3 full seasons while finishing less than 10 games back of the 8th seed. This was bound to happen. This man didn't want to be there in the first place.
Yeah, first, right, going all the way back to the beginning when it was like they mutually agreed part way. That was a lie.
He got fired.
Right. And then, like you said, or like we was just saying earlier, I don't get it. You can't do both, GM and coach. It's just, is this Popovich still doing that in San Antonio?
Mm-hmm. Popovich doing it, Stan Van Gundy's doing it, and Tim Thibodeau doing it.
Thibodeau, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I don't see it. It seems like sooner or later it comes back and bites you.
Right.
Sooner or later, So, like I said, these guys, they ain't even had a winning record since he been there. And then, like they saying, his unwillingness to abandon the triangle offense.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That may be a big part of it, too. I think certain offenses and defenses, you need the right people to run it. Right. I mean, on paper, it can still look good, but if you ain't got the horses to run it, it's not going to work. You know, and I don't think they had those studs that he had, when he was in L.A., which I don't think they ran it as much as they did with the Bulls, because the Bulls just had interchangeable parts when Jackson was here coaching or whatever. I mean, all their players was pretty much outside the center was the same size.
Mm-hmm.
Gotti, Mike, Rodman, Harper, all of them was between 6'6" and 6'8", built the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard. I mean, you don't get this. And they always willing to play defense. Ain't nobody on the Knicks willing to play defense.
Right.
It's crazy, but hey.
You know what? All in all, this man ended up getting all his money. He was, I think at the end, I think he wanted to get fired. He wanted to get fired so you get to take home that $60 million back to Montana. I blame this on Jim Dolan. Just like you said, you heard his statement. He's hands off for all operations with the Knicks organization because he don't want to do nothing. He just got to how he ended up with the team, I don't know, but you could tell he don't nothing. He just want the team for the money. He don't want to put his hands into it because he was out there. He was doing a concert during the draft. He wanted Phil Jackson to be his shield from the Knicks fans because they wanted his head before they got Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson didn't want the job. He threw all that money at Phil Jackson. I think he said, I'll give you $6 million. I give you $8 million. I give you $10 million. I give him $12 million a year. Phil, I ain't even going to pass that up. Oh, hell, I don't care. If you just want me to show up, I show up. So he showed up. He didn't say he was going to do anything. He'd just show up. And I think Phil Jackson, he had good intentions at the beginning, but you had to be hands-on.
Yeah.
He was a successful coach. He won 11 championships because he had hands-on to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. He was hands-on to Shaq and Kobe Bryant. But as a president, you're not hands-on. So whatever you say, if you give people, you can't give people books that you was given when you was a coach. You can't give words of wisdom or give nuggets as a president like you was as a coach. And I think he had his mindset saying, no, I can still do this. No, you're not a coach anymore. You're a president. And he didn't know how to do executive moves. He know how to do coach moves. He don't do executive moves. He didn't know how to pick a coach.
You upstairs in the penthouse and not down in the basement.
Right. You're not on the court during practice. You're up in your office looking down at the court.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he didn't know how to work at the executive. It backfired on him. So I'm glad they finally did what they had to do. Because it was like torture watching the New York Knicks going through what they was going through. So okay, let me ask you this. This is almost like a player. You trying to get a free agent. You trying to get one of these free agents out here. I know they were trying to get the GM from Toronto, Masai Ujiri, Dave Griffith that just got fired from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I heard Isaiah Thomas' name came up. Ain't no damn way they should. They not gonna let the New York Knicks fan ain't gonna let Isaiah Thomas come back for that. No. And I heard Pesty from the Oklahoma Thunder in the they're gonna try to woo him from there. I personally, I would get Ujiri. I seen what he did in Toronto. He did a phenomenal job. Even though he cursed a couple of, he stated some stuff that he shouldn't have been stated during the playoffs. I think he's a good fit for them. I think Dave Griffin from the Cavaliers is a good fit over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to wait and see who goes over there. Hey, congratulations to the Knicks, man. Now I hear Carmelo. Now, this is how you know Carmelo had an extra grind with Phil Jackson. Now he's willing for a buyout.
Right.
So.
Well, he might as well. They got to tear the whole thing down.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to put this out there. I'm put this out there real quick. I ain't got nothing against Jeff Hornacek. They need to fire him. It's a dumpster fire. You got Joakim Noah, who getting paid $18 million next year, $18 million the following year, and $19 million after that. So you got to worry about. You got to try to buy him out. Like I said, start from the bottom and work your way back up, man.
Yeah.
Better than where they were the past 3 to 4 years. So.
I mean, 20 under 500.
Say it again.
Yeah, they 31 and 51.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, I would try to move Carmelo, give me some pieces. Porzingis is the only one I know wouldn't be moving.
Mm-hmm.
Young and he talented or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, they got a lot of work to do in New York. A lot of work.
Oh, what I was saying was I have nothing against Jeff Hornacek, the head coach, but I would get rid of him, and I would bring in Mark Jackson. He knows how to work with young teams. Look what he did with the Golden State Warriors before he got fired over there. I think he would be a good fit for the New York Knicks to move forward. That's just me.
As a coach?
As a coach.
As a coach now.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I would take the GM spot because you know that Jim Dolan has nothing to do with the team. So you ain't got to worry about him breathing behind your back. So that would be a good GM spot to me. It's a high market team. You got the Mecca. You can make a name for yourself. Hell, let me go ahead and put it out there right now. If you do everything right, you can get LeBron James over there. I know you give me this look. If you bring LeBron James over there, put the team around him, and bring New York a championship, oh shit.
Yeah, they could possibly be relevant again. They could possibly. But now you Mark Jackson. Which one do you take if they offer you, GM or coach?
Coach. I'm say coach first. Or hell, You work with Jim Dolan, you could be one of them few and far between coaches that would have both of them. So, all right, man, let's go ahead and close shop, bro. You got anything else you want to put out there before I put on the music?
That just must be nice, man, to have that type of money where you can do whatever the hell you want to do.
You know how much the Knicks are worth?
No.
2.5 billion with a B. Billion.
$5 billion.
Oh, man. People hate Jim Dolan. I just want to be him.
Yeah.
I can make moves.
Yeah, they make moves. They can hate me too.
You can hate me, right? All right, man. Let's go ahead and close shop, bro. The crew here at Get With It Sports want to thank you for taking time to listen to the 2 Cent Deposit on Sports podcast. Once again, while you're here, click the follow button so you can be alerted to all the new episodes to the shows we have here at Get With It Sports Media. If you're watching us on Get With It Sports 2 YouTube channel, let us know how we are doing by giving us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. We don't care because we're going to keep on doing what we love to do. That's talk sports. Find us on Twitter at Get With Me at Get With Sports. Brandon at LDB412. Read the post on our blog page at getwithitsports.wordpress.com. Follow us on Facebook /Get With It Sports. Or contact us via email at getwithitsports2. That's number 2 at gmail.com. And look forward to things jumping off later on in a month or two. We got big things happening with our friends of the show. Team Board TV, AA Sports, Cane and Ice, TWSS Sports, which is That's What She Said Sports. We're going to have big things popping off soon, so stay tuned. We got it going. But as always, I'm your boy Glass.
And I'm Brandon.
The best tag team tandem out here in sports talk. And as always, be good, be safe, get with it. Peace.